Hello, Namaste, I'm Divya, and thanks for joining me. I have a fabulous new project for you today. Let's get started. Oh, and a quick shout out to my girl Deepika. She made me this gorgeous bracelet so I could look all fancy and nice when I'm shooting videos. So I'd initially planned to use gesso, but I realized that the bottle was completely dry. So I decided to use chalk paints instead. I'm using the white chalk paints from Itsy Bitsy. I applied a thin even coat, but to be honest, I think I could have just skipped this step and directly gone to the modeling paste. The modeling paste that I'm using is also pretty nice and white and gave me good coverage. Yeah, I could have just skipped this and directly just gone to modeling paste. So Drona comes looking for me when he can't find me in the house, and he comes up and he knows that these days I'm in my studio, so he'll come up with the help of with help of Daddy, and spends a couple of minutes with me. He likes brushes. He loves brushes. And the funny part is he's never seen me paint. He has not seen me use these brushes. But he knows exactly how to use them. He knew that he had to hold on to which side of the brush. And also I was amazed to see how he dipped into the palette, and he was trying to imitate me even though he hasn't really seen me do this. So it's it was amazing watching him. Next step is modeling paste. I'm applying generous amounts with the help of a palette knife. I'm not being too careful here. I want a lot of texture, so you'll see me work with the knife in all directions and try to get as much texture as possible. Next step is to glue down the napkin to your base. I'm using gel medium, but you could use Mod Podge or any other decoupage glue. I also like to tear my napkin on all sides. I don't like them sharp machine cut. So I like to tear them all. I'd like to tear all the sides myself, and then just start gluing down. I use very little glue and go in sections, in small sections, and this ensures that I don't have a lot of wrinkles, and it just gives me a lot of control and a better finish. I get asked this a lot, and so I wanted to list down the names of all the colors I've used for blending. To start off, I used two shades of chalk paints from a brand called iCraft, and the colors were Summer Fern and Khaki Moss. And the rest of them were acrylic colors. I've used white. White is very important, and a shade called Antique Bronze. And now, so this is my favorite color. It looks pretty boring, but it gives you that fantastic antique color that you're looking for in most of these vintage projects. So this is definitely a paint that I recommend. The other shades that I used were antique gold. For the flowers and the bottom part of the napkin, I used cadmium yellow, India red, black, burnt sienna, and scarlet lake. I have a confession to make. I feel like I've forgotten how to blend. This used to come very naturally to me, but I feel that I've somehow lost that ability. I haven't done a serious project in over 2 years, and now that I'm a mom, I'm just an anxious person. I have less patience. I feel like I'm not relaxed in my studio. I don't get unlimited free relaxed time, and all of that has been adding up to this fear. Maybe it's irrational, maybe it's right, I don't know, but I just feel like I've forgotten how to blend. So you'll see me struggle here, and this is definitely not one of my finest projects, but I think with practice I might kind of get that back. So I've been avoiding to be honest, I've been avoiding complex projects, but this kind of gave me confidence. This didn't look really bad, as not as bad as I was fearing, but yeah, I think you'll see me take on some complex projects in the coming future. That black line at the bottom was slanting a bit to the left. So I took a ruler, drew out a straight line, and corrected it with the brush. Pro tip: generally when you blend, it tends to remove some of the detail, or tends to fade the background a bit. So in this case, there was a lot of text in the background. There's a lot of vintage typography, and my blending kind of tend to dull my blending dulled it down. What I'm doing is I've taken a thin round brush and diluted paint, and I'm going over the edges a little bit of the text. I obviously cannot replicate that fine detail, but I'm just sharpening the image a little bit so it doesn't look too dull and faded out. And if you're good at it, if you can draw or paint or write freehand, then I would definitely encourage to add some of your details here as well, and that will make a huge difference. This next step is completely optional, but this is my absolute favorite. If you followed me, if you've seen me work, if you've seen my videos, you know that I love stamping, and I personally feel that stamping adds a lot of interest to your projects. I have shared a picture of how the board was looking without stamps at the end of the video. And obviously how it's looking after stamping, and you can see the difference yourself. These are rubber stamps, and I'm using archival ink. I will leave a link to these stamps in the description box below with the rest of the supplies. I've had these stamps for a long time. I'm not sure if they're still available, to be honest, but any ornate stamp or any French script stamp I think works with most of our projects, and these look really, really nice, and I feel they're worth the investment. I'm painting the edges of the chopping board and also finishing up those sunflowers. Most of the supplies I'm using today are from my friend Jasmine Siddiqui's store, Craftily Connect. They are Bombay based, but they ship all over India. The chopping board, chalk paints, napkin, brushes, varnish are all from her store. I will leave a link to her store in the description box below. The custom rubber stamp is from a brand called rubberstamps.com. They're US based. I don't think they ship to India. I had a friend traveling back from the US, and so I asked her to bring it for me. And you can definitely try that. Their logo stamps are amazing. To ensure that the napkin, the painting, the stamping that I've done doesn't fade or yellow over time, I will need to seal this. I'm using gel medium, but you could use Mod Podge or any other decoupage glue and give it one thin, even, clean coat. I'm finishing off the project with a layer of top coat varnish. I'm using Ecuador by Asian Paints. This is a water-based varnish. This will ensure that the project is water resistant, fade, dust or scratch resistant. What it does not promise is non-yellowing of the project. So this is meant to go on wood originally, so I'm not sure how it would react with paper or paint over time. So just to be sure, I seal my entire project with either Mod Podge or gel medium and then go over it with Ecuador. I have painted Ecuador on paint directly and it has not yellowed, but I just don't want to take that risk. So I always double seed my projects. I go over with gel medium or Mod Podge and then Ecuador. I hope that explains why I always do 2 layers of 2 different types of varnish. Okay, here are some of the pictures of the final product. I had a lot of fun working on this one. I really appreciate you guys watching till the end, and I hope you had fun too. I promise to bring you more amazing tutorials, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.